DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom today, Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch. Mr. Mayor, good summer day to you. How are you today?
You as well. Doing great. Doing great. No
Yeah.
more storms.
No more storms. And boy, I tell you what, I don't know what's going on with in terms of like the daytime temperatures, but low 80s, no humidity. Give me that every day of the week and twice on Sunday, right?
Amen. Amen.
I feel like we're going to pay for this on the back end, though.
Well, eventually we always do.
We always do. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I've got the weather service folks on over there in Lincoln every few weeks, and just enjoy the updates from them and figuring out where we're going next. I'll tell you what, it was funny. Yeah. I'm sorry to take us off the beaten path here, but there was a stretch there. You remember how we were getting pretty good storms every few weeks between like March and April. And I'm not kidding you, Mr. Mayor. Every time I had the weather service on, later that day, we were in store for those major storms that were rolling through. It was just like a bad luck charm to have them on the show at a point there. So, but did you guys make it through? By the way, did you have you taken any hits or any damage from these storms this year?
Yeah, there's been some trees down, some property damage that's happened, things of that nature. Fortunately, nobody was injured that I'm aware of, or it's been brought to my attention. So, brave the storms. I mean, they were pretty scary. It was very good, though. Our fire chief was in the emergency response center during this last one, and I was getting hourly updates on it. So that was really nice to kind of know what was coming at us and be able to prepare for it.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Let's dive into, Mr. Mayor, probably let's start with the most imminent thing tonight. We've got Third Friday in Lincoln. These are kind of a summer get-together event you've put on for the community for a couple years now, and it's convenient. We get you on the third Friday to promote this. So how about Third Fridays in Lincoln? What's going on tonight?
Yeah, this is our annual summer series that we do for the community. It's a free event. It's in downtown Lincoln. It usually consists of games and entertainment for kids, bouncy houses. There's food vendors, organizations that are just trying to get the word out, live entertainment and music. That's the typical one. This one is supposed to replicate you walking down Broadway Street in Nashville. It's a lot of music, a lot of fun, a lot of entertainment going on all at once throughout the entire downtown square. So we have an artisan market where people, make things, bring them in. There's a car show. So there's a lot going on. So if you're available, come downtown tonight.
Very good. So check it out. When do things kind of kick off? When do the music acts end? What's kind of the timeline of events?
Yeah, usually 5:30 to 8:30 is our normal. Tonight they'll go a little bit longer to 10 o'clock for the music. So come downtown, be entertained 5:30 to 10.
All right, very good. Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch on the phone with us, or on the Zoom rather, with us here for this morning. Mr. Mayor, I know last week you got some pretty devastating news, some information regarding the prison. I know this has been an ongoing push from the community to save. What's the latest? What's going on here, sir?
Yeah, I would say despite our best efforts, we were notified, and I say we, me, Senator Turner, Rep. Howder, and the County Board Chairman, Jared Glenn, we were all notified that Logan will not be staying in Lincoln. At least that's the plan from Department of Corrections at this time. Unfortunately, it sounds like they're going to try to relocate it up to Stateville. We're still pushing to get more information. We're still going to do our best to try to counter that. I just don't know how successful we're going to be.
Yeah. That was the fear. This was the fear, right?
Yeah, it absolutely was. A lot of impact to the community, people, businesses. It's just, not only that, the families that have people that are in custody, the people that work at the facilities. it's just got a really bad ripple effect, and it's going to hurt our community for a while.
Yeah, what's the exit strategy, or do we know at this point?
Well, they didn't give us a timeline. Those of us that are kind of looking at it objectively think we're probably looking 3 to 5 years.
Mhm.
So there is some time. Fortunately, that's time for people to make some adjustments. And I think some people already have started doing that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Finding new
yep.
jobs, I mean, gosh, Mr. Mayor, you've got people that have their roots here that have worked at the prison since they were, if they weren't teenagers, they were not far from it. And, they've got families and kids and, now those kids are probably establishing roots in Lincoln. So there's, deep ties
Yep.
to the prison. That's going to be a really big change for a lot of people.
Yeah, it really will. And you just brought up a good point. When these families are trying to relocate, our schools are going to be impacted too. When they have children and they have to relocate, the children go with the families.
Right.
And so that's another impact that we're going to see to our school districts and the size of classrooms and things of that nature. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I know a lot of people that work out there. I know some people have already started looking. The writing is on the wall, and it has been, and now they've made it clear what their intent is. So, if I was in their shoes, I would be doing the same thing.
Brutal. It's just brutal. Well, yeah, it sometimes feels like the hits just keep on coming for the city of Lincoln. I mean, it really between Lincoln College, Lincoln Christian College, now the prison, a lot of industry.
Yep.
Even we'll get to this later in the program, but the former LDC property, that was a huge blow way back in the day. So it's
Yeah.
it just feels like it's one thing after another sometimes, I'm sure.
Yeah, I would say the plus to the losses you just mentioned is that with the Lincoln College property, fortunately, there is a buyer, and the city has allowed for that rezoning of that property. So they're working through the closure, and then we'll see some growth and progress on that property. So, it's peaks and valleys, and uh, I think we're kind of somewhere in between right now.
Yeah, right. But you don't want to throw a pity party too long, right? You want to,
Nope.
you gotta get yourself, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and start rocking and rolling again. And I know,
Yeah.
it's been a busy time in Lincoln, like you mentioned, Mr. Mayor. I know there's been some updates on the juvenile detention center that at the former LDC property. Some other updates out there. What's the latest? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, very good point. There is a lot of progress going on in Lincoln. That property is one of them. The Monarch Youth Facility, it's up and running out there now. And if you paid attention or you watched us on one of these shows in the past, the Lincoln Developmental Center property that sits on that south side of town as you're coming into Lincoln, it's been vacant for a very long time. The buildings are in terrible shape, property looks terrible, and the governor put $500 million in the budget in the prior years to remediate that and 4 other properties that is owned by the state. And they're moving forward. We had a really good meeting early last week, with representatives from a lot of state agencies, and we're moving right along. We're starting to talk about potential uses for it of that property, and they're very open to the things that we're presenting to them, and they shared some things back with us that we should consider. And we had a really great conversation, about 2 hours of dialogue. So a lot of positivity out there.
Are you at liberty to share some of those things?
Not at this time. I mean, the vision, it's still kind of in progress. There was a vision that was presented to them, and just working locally with some agencies. And when we presented it, they had some feedback. So we're going to make some adjustments and rescale some of the concepts. There's also dialogue to be had with some partnering businesses, educational institutions on some concepts and ideas.
Mhm.
So when we get it fully baked out, we'll share it out. But the fact that the money's allocated and we're having these conversations is a good sign.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You said the juvenile detention center, Monarch Juvenile Detention Center, is up and running.
Yeah. Yep.
Are there teens there and families visiting and all of that?
Yeah, I don't know the numbers. I know that they've scaled it slowly. but they've had staff hired out there for, man, probably over a year. And they have been moving some of the youth into that facility. So I know some people that work out there, and we have conversations in passing every once in a while. But yeah, it's up and running, operational.
They like it. I mean, they like that job.
Some of them do. I think they're trying to figure out what works out at that facility. So I wouldn't say that they don't like the job. I would just say maybe things have changed a little bit from when they were initially there. Some of them have actually moved on to other things already, but I don't think it's because of the facility itself. I just think it's the nature of the job or the work.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Very good. Very good. Exciting times there in the city of Lincoln, particularly on that property. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. You know, Mr. Mayor, I know you told me before we got started, you made some waves this week, moving the world's largest covered wagon. What's going on? Where'd you take it? And by the way, how did you get it there?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't pull it. We actually have a local guy named Brad Matthews. He's sort of been the caretaker of that wagon for many years, and despite who's owned it while it's been in Lincoln. And Brad's been helping us with the museum. So we asked him if he'd help us relocate the wagon. He said, sure. So they essentially put it on a flatbed. They lifted it up with a crane, put it on a flatbed, took the wheels off it, drove it into downtown area, and they're working on setting it up. It's actually in place now. It's on stands. The cover has been put back on it, but in the process of moving it, it was discovered that there's some damage to the wheels that has to be done. So we're hoping to get them repaired relatively quick and get them back on. But it's in place now, and it's in downtown Lincoln. It is on the edge of downtown in what we used to call the Welcome Park on Kickapoo Street. And if you're familiar with downtown, it's right by Rio Grande, the Mexican restaurant. Beautiful park down there, nice space. And we really thought that it might look a little full when we got that wagon down there. But, you know, now that you take a look at it, it looks pretty nice there.
Were people upset about taking away parking or anything?
No, the parking wasn't the concern. The concern was, why move it? It's out there on the edge of town. It looks nice. And I don't dispute what that feedback is telling us. But the purpose of tourism is to draw people into our community with the assets that we have and get them to stay a while, spend some money, stay overnight if possible, because tourism's ran on hotel motel tax. The wagon where it was at was nice. It was off the road, great for photo ops, but that's exactly what was happening. People would come into town, they would take a photo, and then they would keep driving straight to Springfield because it's on the edge of town. We want them to stop and come into town and see all of the other things we have going on. You know, we got Postville Courthouse, we've got the mill down on Stringer Avenue, the phone booth, the museum, new murals. I mean, it just goes on. And we want to get those people see it. Plus, that wagon is going to see more visitors to it in its current location simply because it sits right on Route 66. So most people don't realize Route 66 goes right through downtown Lincoln.
Didn't know that. Maybe I did. You know what? I think I did. I just,
It's got two paths.
Yeah. I'm familiar with the bypass more.
Yeah. So,
word.
Yeah, but that's the idea, is to draw people down. Plus, the city acquired it. I spoke with someone earlier that said, we're disappointed that you sold the wagon. And that actually came from the gentleman who brought it to Lincoln through another person. And I assured him, I said, we didn't sell it. We actually just got it this past year, and we're preserving it, and we want to put it to good use for Lincoln.
Yeah, sure.
So,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, very good. So downtown, you mentioned the museum that you've been working on had a soft opening. How'd that go?
Yeah, it's been going really good. People are dropping in every day of the week. I was actually up there last Sunday moving some stuff while it was closed, and people popped by and they were kind of looking in what we were doing. And I said, if you want to come in, I'll give you a tour. So we did. We had a couple families come in. It was great. Everything in there is a work in progress, but we'll have our grand opening on July 11th, and we're going to throw a little bit of a party to open that up. So I'd say people should keep an eye at LincolnIllinoisTourism.com,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll keep sharing the details.
All right, very good. Mr. Mayor, on that note, let's take a break. We'll come back with some more. How do folks learn about all things Lincoln, Illinois? Keep up with what's going on. You guys got a ton going. You guys have a ton going on. How do folks
we
keep
do.
up with it all?
I'd say follow the City of Lincoln Facebook page or go to lincolnil.gov.
Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch, my guest on the Zoom this morning. We'll break here. More to come with the mayor on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. A market holiday today for the Juneteenth observance. Looking at closing numbers from Thursday, corn, beans, and Chicago wheat all finishing lower. July corn down 3.5, 417.5. September corn down 4 1/4, 425 1/4. December corn down 4 3/4, 444. July beans down 9 1/4, 1122 3/4. August beans down 8.5, 1128 1/4, and November beans 1142 3/4, down 6.5. July Chicago wheat 605 3/4, down 7. July bean meal 301.30, down 3.50. July bean oil 69.69, down $1.85. Livestock trade from Thursday, August feeders 366.60, down 82 cents. June live cattle down 92 cents, 254.80, and July lean hogs 95.02, up 37 cents. Trading resumes with an overnight session Sunday night and Monday. RFD Radio Network.
It's the quiet moments you count on. A call that connects instantly, a show that never buffers, a home that just works. That's the difference with Connexus Fiber Internet. We built a buried fiber network designed for consistency, earning us the title of top-rated fiber internet provider in Illinois. With plans starting as low as $25 a month and 3-year price lock options, it's reliability you can feel without the unpredictability. Because with Connexus, connection means everything. Experience better at Connexus.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom today, Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch with us. You know, Mr. Mayor, I hope it's okay I shifted this. It jogged my memory talking about your museum there in that first segment for months and months. You and I were talking Route 66 and the 100th celebration of the 100th celebration of the highway, and it dawned on me, we're in the middle of the summer, the heavy tourism season for Route 66. Are we ready for this? How are things going in Lincoln?
Yeah, I mean, we were actually 8 months ago, we were 3 years behind, if that makes sense.
Right, yeah.
And we've moved at a really, really fast pace. The fact that we have murals going up, we have a museum opened, we've got a copper penny coming in, watermelon. I mean, the fact that we have all this stuff going on with tourism in such a short amount of time is a miracle in itself. So we are ready. Travelers are coming in. Travelers in cars and buses. We've had people come in on the train as well, and they're excited about it. So we're as prepared as we can be, but we're not done yet.
Got it.
So,
what do you still have to do?
well, we got to get the museum opened up. We have another grant coming behind this one, and we're going to actually put some signage on the face of the building. That was another thing that happened since we last spoke, is that the Route 66 sign and element went on the face of the building. So that was another thing that we got some public feedback on, mostly positive based on what I saw. So we got that. We got the welcome park. We're moving the Lincoln letters. Just a lot of things. Murals that are still in progress. One went up yesterday across the street from the museum. So there's just a lot of tourism activity going on.
Sure. Yep, tis the season. How about the America 250th? Is the city doing anything for that in the next few weeks?
Yeah, been focused on a lot of other things, but we are organizing a small parade for the celebration. A dear friend of mine that is a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution came to me last year and said, we'd really like a parade. And I'm like, I think we can do that. So we got that going on. We got banners up around town. You can really feel the American pride and spirit.
Yeah.
Also, there's a gentleman that's doing some restoration work in town at the post office building. So it's starting to look really nice. People are taking a lot of pride in our community. It's great to see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I'm glad you brought that up. I've only got a few minutes, so I hope I don't take up too much time saying this. But I've talked to a lot of city leaders from across central Illinois, and the one thing that is so I think so evident is regardless of your political opinions, regardless of how you feel about contentious topics, it's really become evident people are coming together to celebrate America in their community, and everybody, from what I can see, at least everybody's putting their differences aside and they just want to have a fun celebratory weekend. And I feel like that's just that's where you get back to what America is all about. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, Mr. Mayor. I
agree with you. You get out in the community, you talk with people, you can feel it. And people are really excited. Of course, there are some people that are not, and that's okay. We welcome them to be a part of the festivities and all the things we're doing. But yeah, I mean, it's really great to see.
Very good. Mr. Mayor, 1 minute with you. What did I not get to today you want to put out there for us?
Man, we covered an awful lot.
We really have. I was actually very concerned we weren't going to get through all of this, but you've zoomed right through it, my good friend.
Well, I'd say balloons over 66.
Oh, yes. Let's wrap up with that.
Yeah, real quick. There was a notification of a cancellation. There's been a group of people that got together and made a small miracle happen, I guess. And they've got the details being worked out. It's planning to be put back on August 28th and 29th. There may be a flight on Thursday, the 27th as well, a media flight they typically do, but still excited. It's a huge event. And I would say that the scare of losing that event really opened up a lot of eyes with people and made them realize how important it is to the community. And we've had a lot of people step up and try to help. So,
more evident people stepping up to keep their community going. Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch, our guest on the Zoom. Network news comes your way next on the morning show.